Henry Playhouse presents A Ramble in Aphasia. O. Henry's stories often drew upon the vast store of human conflict to weave a situation poignant in drama or provocative in humor. A Ramble in Aphasia is the story of a man who employed his mental conflict in quest of happiness. And as in the past, O. Henry once again proves his remarkable talent by combining drama and humor along with the unexpected.
Belford, for the past several months, I've told you the same thing, but this time I mean it. You're headed for trouble, real trouble, if you don't slow down.
As bad as that?
As bad as that.
All right. Take a day off from the office now and then.
Now and then is not the answer. You need recreation, a lot of it. Get out and enjoy yourself. Golf, dancing, theater. Do all those things and your work at the office will never hurt you.
What would be the alternative?
Either your nerves or your brain will give way. One is as bad as the other. The last patient who chose the alternative wound up with aphasia.
Aphasia?
Complete loss of memory. Didn't know who he was or anything about himself. They found him working on a road gang near Boston. Unusual job for a man with $8 million, Elwin, I'm going to stick my neck out. You have a lovely wife, a beautiful house, all the money you can spend. Why do you have to drive so hard? All right, I'll tell you. You and Nancy have forgotten the meaning of compatibility. The romance of courtship is dead from disuse. To substitute for that, she has buried herself in clubs and socials, and you in work, and more work.
Isn't that the usual thing with a childless marriage?
No, it isn't usual. It should never happen. You two had the nicest courtship I ever saw. Now you're living like strangers.
Well, I've tried, Bob. No, I've tried to revive the romance, but I think it's too late. Nancy gets so involved with other things, and you know, sometimes I think she wards me off deliberately by taking on more and more.
If I could speak to Nancy, if she realized how important it was to your welfare.
Oh, no, it mustn't be on that basis. It must come of its own accord.
All right. Well, whatever you do, take care of yourself.
Don't worry, Doc. Oh, and if I should ever lose my memory, don't look for me on a road gang. I have better things to do.
After 2 weeks, the doctor's warning came to pass. Elwood Belford mysteriously disappeared. Greetings, Colonel. You want to use your desk?
Have you been dispossessed?
Well, not quite. I came over to work on that story about the husband who disappeared.
Well, aren't you a little premature? We haven't even discussed an approach to the story.
I have the greatest approach. Aphasia.
Aphasia? Where'd you dig that up?
All the newspapers say that 2 weeks before he disappeared, the man had a check from Dr. Volney. Now, that diagnosis contained, among other things, a warning of aphasia.
Oh, but what if it isn't aphasia? Perhaps the newspapers are right. Maybe the man is dead or was kidnapped.
Colonel, I'm not a newspaper reporter. I'm a fiction writer. Supposing he didn't suffer from aphasia, what's the difference? Doesn't affect my story.
No, I'm not so sure. Why, of all the things that could happen to man, would you settle for a loss of memory affliction?
Because it's my theory. I've read everything that was printed about the case. Want to hear how I planned it?
Fire away.
Now, what's the closest port of embarkation from the past? New York City. A mere 4 hours from his home in Connecticut. And with a population of 4 million. whether he wanted to lose his identity or find it. Where in the world was a better place to start? So, Belford checked in at a reputable but unpretentious hotel a block from Central Park. The clerk was reluctant to register him because, well, experience had taught him to be wary of guests who arrive without luggage. However, our aphasia victim, now calling himself Edward Pinkhammer, quickly eased the clerk's mind. He presented him with several bills from his well-stuffed wallet. And back in Connecticut, Dr. Volney called at the Belford residence at least once a day to chat with Elwyn Belford's wife.
Any word yet, Nancy?
Oh, nothing. I just don't know what to make of it, Bob.
He'll show up sooner or later.
If he isn't dead.
Nancy, as you know, I examined Elwyn 2 weeks before his disappearance. I found him badly overworked, in need of relaxation. He may have taken my advice. Then again,
Yes?
he might just have decided to leave you.
But he wouldn't do a thing like that to me. How could he? He's never had any reason to.
Nancy, have you ever inventoried the reasons that men have for leaving their wives? It's quite a list.
We were happy. I had my work and he had his. We each respected that and tried not to interfere with the other.
That sounds just cozy, a nice intellectual approach to marriage.
Well, now, what would you suggest?
I'd suggest that you become realistic about yourselves. Try to figure out why you start drifting to opposite poles and do something about it. You're both young. You want to spend the rest of your lives respecting each other's work and keeping out of each other's hair?
Bob, we're not a couple of lovesick kids any longer. We've been married for 12 years. We've got to learn to run our marriage on an intelligent adult basis.
Why?
Well, is there any other way to conduct a marriage?
You're darn right there is. Try running it like a couple of kids with nothing in the world but love. You'll have yourself a marriage.
You're being ridiculous.
Now, Nancy, if Elwyn comes back, try getting in his hair once in a while. I think he'd appreciate it.
You know, Bob, suddenly I have the most terrible feeling that he's never coming back.
Elwyn Belford, of all the people in the world, you're the Here, what gives, Elwyn? It's me, Newman, your next-door neighbor.
Oh, I'm sure there's been some mistake, Mr. Newman. We've not met before. My name is Edward Pinkhammer.
Pinkhammer? Where did you come to such a name? If you want to make a joke, make it with Smith or Brown, but Pinkhammer...
Really, Mr. Newman, this is quite awkward for me. I told you, you don't know me.
Yeah, I don't. Now, look, you're running this dry already. El, I just now got off the boat from Europe. That's a place you've got to see. You can't afford to die until you've seen that Europe.
Really?
Nancy would love it there, especially Paris.
Nancy? Mr. Newman, you must excuse me. I do have an appointment. Pleasure meeting you.
May I help you, sir?
I don't know. Do you have an Elwyn Belford registered?
Elwyn Belford. I'll check that, sir. No, we have no one with that name.
Do you have a Pinkhammer?
I beg your pardon?
Is there a Pinkhammer registered?
Oh, yes, Edward Pinkhammer. He's an 814. Shall I announce you, sir?
No. No, thanks. Pinkhammer.
I found him, Bob. I found him.
Good. Where is he?
In New York.
In New York? What's he doing there?
I don't know. Our neighbor, Mr. Newman, ran into him in a hotel. At first, Mr. Newman didn't realize that he was talking to Elwyn till he got home and found that Elwyn was missing.
He didn't know it was Elwyn he was talking to? Well, how is that possible?
Well, he said that Elwyn tried to ignore him, pretending that they'd never met before. First, Mr. Newman thought this was a joke. Then Elwyn kept insisting that his name was Edward Pinkhammer and walked away. Oh, it's El, all right. I know it is, Bob.
Sit down, Nancy. Are you going to New York?
Yes, I am. I'm leaving in an hour.
Do you want me to go with you?
Well, I don't think that's necessary, but thanks anyway.
I think I should.
Well, he's my own husband. I'm certainly capable of asking him to come home with me.
What if he refuses?
What are you trying to tell me?
Why do you think Elwyn ignored a close friend like Newman and represented himself as some stranger?
Well, I don't know. I've never given it much thought.
Well, think about it now. Does that sound like Elwyn?
But it is Elwyn. Mr. Newman is positive it's Elwyn.
Physically, yes, but mentally, I don't know.
Get to the point, Bob.
When I examined Elwyn, his nerves were shot. His brain was ready to give way from exhaustion. What I'm trying to tell you is that Edward Pinkhammer may well be a man who was walking around without a memory.
No. You can't mean that.
If he is suffering from aphasia, you're just as much a part of his forgotten past as everything else.
You can't mean that.
But I do. Now, hurry up.
Oh, Mr. Pinkhammer. A gentleman and a lady to see you, sir. They're in the small reception room. Who are they? The gentleman merely said they were friends of yours, sir. Friends of mine.
Hello, Belford.
Oh, I think you've made some mistake.
I don't think so. Aren't you Elwyn Belford?
No. No, I'm afraid not. My name is Pinkhammer.
Pinkhammer?
Edward Pinkhammer.
I'm Dr. Robert Volney. Does that name mean anything to you?
No, I'm afraid not, although I am very happy to meet you, Dr. Volney.
Thank you. This is Nancy Belford.
How do you do, Miss Belford?
I'm afraid I have to apologize for our mistake.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. There must be a startling resemblance between this chap, Belford, and myself. I've been mistaken for him before. A relative of yours, Miss Belford.
Yes, a relative. Nancy and I are here on a brief visit. We had hoped to surprise Elwyn.
Oh. Oh, how disappointing for you. I'm here on a brief holiday myself. I wonder, would you be good enough to join me for dinner tonight?
I'm afraid I shall be tied up. I can't speak for Nancy, though.
Miss Belford?
Thank you.
Oh, good. Good. Well, then, shall we say to meet here at 8 o'clock tonight? Oh, fine. Good evening. Very happy to have made your acquaintance, Dr. Volney.
Volney.
What am I going to do, Bob?
You're going to keep a dinner date with Edward, Pinkhammer? Just think, how many women in the world would like to be in your shoes? A second crack at happiness. With your own husband, too.
That's a fascinating approach, O. Henry. But if the newspapers are right in what they're printing, you look pretty ridiculous. And if I print your version, I'll look just as ridiculous, too.
Colonel, I repeat again, I'm not a reporter and you're not publishing a newspaper.
All right, friend. Inasmuch as you've gone this far, I might as well hear the rest of it. What happened at dinner?
It was pleasant. But it was fraught with tension. Most of the time, the conversation was strained with the past. A past, mind you, that he did not remember. A past that she dared not discuss. Well, when Nancy got back to the hotel that night, she realized she had been spending the evening with a total stranger. A man who unwittingly discarded the past, including her. Well, Doc Volney was impatiently waiting to hear the report from the first reconnaissance.
Well, it was just the most weird experience of my whole life. Imagine dining with your own husband and having him treat you like a complete stranger. Bob, what are we going to do?
You're going to stay here and keep an eye on him. I'm going back home, but I'll keep in close touch.
Well, why? Why can't we just tell him who he is and who we are and straighten out the whole mess?
Isn't that simple, Nancy? Why should he accept your word about his past? You're just some girl he met tonight and invited to dinner.
But then what are we going to do?
I'm hoping that something will come out of his association with you that will spark his memory, lift the veil that clouds the past. Just the right stimulus might do it. What that might be, no one can say. It can happen at any time. On the other hand, the past might be lost forever.
After a few days of constant companionship, the tension disappeared. Dinners became bright and gay. Elwyn was the essence of charm. His conversation brisk and engaging. Nancy laughed and was happy, happier than she'd been in a long, long time. Another 2 weeks moved on, and the days and nights were filled with fun and excitement. No longer any doubt about it, she was in love. In love with the stranger who was her husband. Then one evening, Elwyn said he loved her, and that he was sorry because love meant marriage. Then he described marriage as being similar to a fixed horse race, of knowing the finish before the start. He explained that he didn't want to risk that happening to their beautiful and exciting romance, so he was going to leave for South America. Stunned, hurt, and bitterly disappointed, Nancy said goodnight, and Elwyn regretfully watched her leave. At first, he felt the urge to run after her, tell her what a dreadful mistake he'd made. And all of a sudden, he remembered the fixed race. And the urge quickly passed. What do you think, Al?
I'm still worried about the tremendous difference between your version and what the newspapers are printing. And yet, in spite of everything, it presents a situation that could happen. With one exception, of course.
What's that?
Nobody'd ever believe that a man given a new lease on life would start by taking the name Edward Pinkhammer.
If I may draw on the Colonel's treasury of original gems, what's in a name?
Granted. Well, where do you go from here?
Well, through the better part of a sleepless night, Nancy was faced with the dreadful realization that in conquering Edward Pinkhammer, the romanticist, she had lost Elwyn Belford, the realist. In her misery, she consulted her friend, Dr. Volney.
I've lost him, Bob. I know it. I'll never get him back.
Don't give up, Nancy. He hasn't run away yet.
If only he'd regain his memory, then he'd have to stay.
Do you want him back on that basis?
Pride is a luxury I can't afford right now. I'll take him back on any basis. I happen to be in love with him.
Well, little something has been added.
I've always been in love with him. Think this sort of thing just happens overnight?
To some people, yes, but I'm sure you're not one of them, Nancy.
Now, when I asked you down here, I needed help, Bob, not criticism.
I'd like to help you, Nancy, but love is one thing even the medical profession hasn't found a cure for yet.
You expect me to just calmly sit by and watch 12 years of marriage just slip through my fingers?
If he is determined to run away from you, I don't see what you can do about it.
I told you before, it's marriage he's running away from, not me.
You're sure of that?
I'm positive.
I had to be certain you were convinced of that. Now perhaps we can get somewhere. This is the first positive clue we have had as to what's behind all this trouble.
What do you mean?
Simply that Elwyn's aphasia is a direct result of bitter disappointment. Disappointment over the failure of his marriage.
Nancy was determined to make Elwyn understand that every marriage didn't have to resemble a fixed race, and to convince him that their romance would never be destroyed under the weight of drab and routine obligations.
Thousands of people in thousands of homes, but I wouldn't change places with a single one of them.
Oh, that pleases me, Nancy. That pleases me very much.
You've given me so much, Edward. You've taught me how much fun life can be when it isn't cluttered with drab people and routine obligations.
Nancy.
When you've got someone to share it with, someone so much a part of you that every emotion that is yours is his
Nancy.
also. And that's the way it's going to be from now on. Every day a wonderful and exciting adventure. I'm going to give my man all the love and devotion and companionship there is to give.
Nancy.
Because that's the foundation of every successful marriage. And I make this pledge, mine will be the most successful marriage in the whole world.
Nancy, do you really mean that?
Oh, I do, darling. I do with all my heart.
Oh, I'm so grateful. You don't know how.
Oh, are you really, darling?
Yes. That gives me the pleasure of bringing happiness to two people. To you and to the man that someday you're going to marry. And when that happens, you must write to me, dear. Wherever I am in the world, I'll come right back. Just to tell him how lucky I think he is.
Thank you. You're very nice. I think we should go now, Edward. I'm
no.
leaving for home first thing in the
What
morning.
a shame. I wanted you to see me off tomorrow at the boat. To make it a final parting that we'd never forget.
Let us consider this our parting farewell. And you may be sure it'll be one that I shall never forget.
That's it.
Resigned to utter defeat, Nancy returned home the next morning. Her comfortable living room was filled with emptiness. Her heart was heavy and her mind was plagued with memories of the husband she'd lost forever because she'd allowed their love to be taken for granted.
Edward, I mean Elwyn.
May I come in?
Darling, you're back. Welcome home.
Oh, thank you.
Would you like to rest?
Oh, no. No. I would like to talk. Nancy? Nancy, I've been in another world for the past several weeks. How I got there or what moved me to go doesn't matter. What does matter is that I met a woman there, and I'm in love with her. She's everything I've ever wanted or dreamed of. She's the kind of woman that I would like to spend the rest of my life with.
And she made a pledge about her marriage. And she's going to keep this pledge for the rest of her days. She will, Elwyn. Oh, you've got to believe she will.
And that, my dear Colonel, is the story as I see it, of Elwyn Belford's little Ramble in Aphasia. Well? I wait with bated breath, Colonel.
Well, what can I say? As a piece of creative work, it's delightful. But Belford's disappearance is real. It's been headline reading for days. Why, by this time, the poor man is likely dead. Don't you see, oh, Henry, this whole thing is too serious to be treated so lightly. What is it, Mrs. Ryder? Oh, please bring it in. There's an extra out on the Belford case.
Thank you. Well, Colonel?
Elwyn Belford, prominent local attorney who mysteriously disappeared 3 weeks ago, returned to his home early this morning. According to the family physician, Dr. Robert Valney, Belford's disappearance was due to a sudden case of aphasia. He was found registered in a New York hotel under the name Edward Pinkhammer. Isidore Newman, Belford's neighbor, accidentally encountered the stricken man in the hotel and reported Belford's condition and behavior to his wife, who, together with Dr. Valney, went to New York to pick him up. Dr. Volney reports that Belford's memory has been completely restored. Incredible.
Well, Colonel, I'll be on my way.
But you haven't explained this fantastic deduction of yours.
Later. I'm having lunch with my friend, Dr. Volney. Least I can do, don't you think?